What's good, y'all, and welcome to another video. We all know who sits on the golden throne, but in a land before our time, there was someone else that sat at the very peak of Watcher of Realms. The only unit in the history of this game to ever get nerfed. It is obviously King Boreas. Now, for those of you that remember pre-nerf Boreas, do you believe it would be game-breaking if they change Boreas back to old Boreas? Let me know down below what you think about Boreas going back to pre-nerf version. And with the latest patch on the 28th, Boreas has gotten buffed not just once, but twice. And today we'll be having a look at these buffs and seeing if the grind for those buffs, because the buffs didn't come in form of a character enhancement, but in the addition of 2 exclusive pieces of equipment, if that grind is even worth it. So without further ado, let's see if Boreas can reclaim the throne and what are we even looking at. So overall we have number 1, the artifact Eternal Winter. Eternal Winter has the same starting as a Tear of Twilight at 20% going up to 30%, so it's already a Tear of Twilight's equal without any drawbacks. So undoubtedly the moment you get this artifact, it's his best in slot. And what it also does is Purification or Frozen Purification has a 25% chance to be cast twice. So Frozen Purification is pretty much just like AoE big boy freeze that then also triggers the anti-heal. And then during the ultimate, this goes down to a 9-second duration, and the chance is for this to actually be cast twice, which is quite huge. And then on top of that, we also have the Boreas Amulet. The Boreas Amulet during Eternal Ice Haven, damage dealt by Frozen Purification will have 10% penetration. So during Eternal Ice Haven, which is the state he enters during his ultimate, for 25 seconds, you're going to have a 1 in 4 to trigger the Frozen Purification twice, and every Frozen Purification will also have 10% penetration. Furthermore, the higher your Boreas' Awakenings, or specifically speaking, the A3 giving you even more Frozen Purification damage, and then the A5 giving you even more ult duration. So we're just going to go in and compare Boreas with and without these artifacts. We'll obviously do everything proper, so plus 10 versus plus 25, A0 versus A5. So yeah, let's get into it and see if Boreas can get anywhere near close to the throne again. Alright, so the way we can do this and the way we can make it the most fair is by using this piece right here. It has basically the same substats. It is going to be, okay, 6 more attack speed and 1.5% more crit damage, but we're going to swap between these 2 pieces to determine the effect of what a Boreas looks like without these. And yeah, so this is our prime test subject Boreas. We have a crit rate, crit damage, attack speed, plus also the exclusive piece, right? Exclusive piece is there too. So once he casts the ultimate, he also starts into the next ultimate with 8% more rage. And then on the left side, we have attack percent, crit damage with HP, as well as the same thing to prepare him for the one and only true testing ground of Gr1. Yes, I know most of you probably cleared this shit already because you just used the Valara, but yeah, let's actually get into it. Alright, so for the first one, we'll be going into gear rate 121. We bring Venoma because nobody uses Venoma anyway, so we might as well give her some time in the spotlight. Then a Elowin, Boreas, and a Diao. That's all you're gonna get. Let's take it on, and then obviously we'll also move on to 22. Alright, so here we are with Solorias, making it into the very last wave of 21. This is the non-exclusive artifact version at A0. So yeah, you know, at the end I'll also have a, I would say a rather interesting suggestion in how you could make this Boreas more relevant in a lot of content. And I feel like it is a bit of a missed opportunity with the exclusive artifact not giving that, but I save it a bit for the end, so we at least have something interesting to look forward to. Besides, obviously, the fact that Boreas lost on, I do believe it is 21. It might have actually been 22. But okay, we have 123 million. Yeah, okay, it's probably, stage 1 or 21. So there we go, 21, obviously not a solo. Keep in mind, this is the only support he gotten. The moment you give him, for example, also a Mary on top, things are looking different, but this is what he got. Let's see what he can do with his exclusive pieces. Alright, so we've dropped down a 10% attack from the artifact itself, because of Boreas obviously swapping to the exclusive, and that exclusive being hella difficult to upgrade. And yeah, this is also, I guess, kind of an issue, with exclusive artifacts, that if you want them at full potential, you do have to actually upgrade them all the way to 25. But yeah, let's watch it one time fully to see if we can actually see the double trigger in action. So this was the third one. I don't think we've seen the double trigger once. So 5 times no double trigger makes me wonder if it's like, does it actually show up? I mean, it should, right? It should. So once more, he enters into the ultimate. And then one trigger. One trigger. Oh, there we go. There we go. Twice. But I gotta be honest with you here. I don't know. It's not the most reliable. But keep in mind, we still have the permanent 10% penetration from the exclusive piece. So let's check it out. So this is once, and then the fourth one. I think that was still once, right? Damn. We haven't seen it quite often yet, but keep in mind the wall health is already looking way better than before, and that is even though he's lost the attack increase. I'm curious, is there a chance for him to like get a higher trigger chance if you upgrade the artifact? No way, right? Like there's no way that goes higher than 25. The only thing that should increase is the attack. But yeah, I mean, he's definitely doing something. And that is without any further awakenings, right? That is without any further awakening boosts or the like. So, double boost, double hit, pretty dangerous. Yeah, I mean, if this triggers at the right time, it can be very, very destructive. But does he have the burst to kill them? We're at least making it further than the normal version, but it doesn't quite look like we have enough. It's close. It is remarkably close, but we don't quite have enough to actually solo the stage. So 50 enemies. Let's see. 124 was the before version, and now the buffed version is 166, which is an increase of around 33%. That is pretty good. But I mean, okay, let's check it out, see if you can actually upgrade it. So here we go, Boreas artifact. I mean, it says 25 in blue, right? But I don't believe that number is ever gonna change. Might as well not color it, right? Still 25. Alright, let's cut the 25 out of 25. Yeah, so as I thought, it doesn't go up by 30. But keep in mind, no matter what, this is by far the best in slot artifact for Boreas. I mean, it has the Tear of Twilight, and then on top of that, it has the extra Frozen Purification casts, or at least the chance for it to do so. So I guess, you know what, as a last thing, let's just have a look at Fancy Boreas with the... Yeah, let's just go with A5. I want to see what an A5 Boreas can do against 22, if he can actually do anything against that. And yes, if you're wondering, I realized swapping to your secondary Boreas is always faster tn reloading. So, Gr1, stage 22, what can Boreas do? I mean, obviously this test doesn't quite show a lot, but it gives you a good idea of these pieces. These pieces are actually desirable. Like, there's been some really, really interesting ones in this this actual rotation. Like, for example, we'll also have a closer look at the Allura piece, because the Allura piece just sounds nasty. I mean, the ability to permanently stay invisible, period, like, what more could you want, right? What more could you want? So let's actually see what Boreas can do against 22 on his own. I don't know if we're actually seeing. I mean, okay, if he does double cast, it is pretty devastating, but mostly against like the standard units. Like let's be real here. 22 is a bit too difficult to be soloed. I guess technically, if you had like a fully buffed out Velara, it might become possible, but yeah. So overall, I mean, reasonably speaking, Boreas, he's gonna fit into whatever team you're using him in. And then wherever you use him, he's gonna be better if you have these pieces, right? Is it enough to make him like a top tier, super desirable hero again that you have to spend all your infinite stamina on and farm it until the end of time and get every single piece? Not necessarily, but it is at least a step in the right direction, because these artifacts are way better than some of these exclusive artifacts we had before. Like, I especially hate the ones that are actually worse than like their standard counterpart. Like, for example, who's ever gonna run a Shamir artifact? If you want to run a Shamir, you don't run like his exclusive, right? But I mean, let's have a look at the damage. It's only 15 enemies, but he did have a bit of a chance to like give them a taste of their own medicine damage-wise. So let's see. Yeah, I mean, 200 million just like that within 15 enemies is pretty good. Now, let me show you my idea of what could have been a Boreas artifact that I think would have been incredibly good. Like, what is the biggest drawback of Boreas? The biggest drawback of Boreas is enemies being immune to freeze, right? If enemies become immune to freeze or are immune to freeze, like Gear Dungeon 1, he's just done, right? Because most of his kit relies on the ability to apply the freezes and then based on those freezes also do extra damage. Like, oh, if a freeze gets inflicted, you do anti-heal, they take more damage and the like. But if enemies cannot be frozen, Boreas is kind of... he's just sad. He's just sad. Now, what if they actually took something from someone that doesn't care if a target is frozen? What if instead of this artifact just being what it is, how about he inflicts Eye of Winter? Huh? How about Boreas also gets the ability to inflict this Eye of Winter to regard targets as frozen? Not only would it not destroy any mechanics because they wouldn't get frozen in place, but it would allow Boreas to apply anti-heal. It would allow Boreas to do the extra damage. And that is legit all you need, right? That is legit all you need. So, Heart of Ice, Eye of Winter, why is this not part of the exclusive or the artifact, right? So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Obviously, there's a lot of content where you can now use him in. He's better than before. Wherever you've used Boreas, you can now use Boreas Premium. But it's obviously nothing where it's like, okay, yeah, go ahead, spend 100,000 stamina, get it now. It's incredible, right? So yeah, that was our Boreas showcase, and yeah, as always, we see each other in the next one. Peace!